What is going on, you guys? It is your man, MorganMan. Thank you so much for tuning back in to the MorganMan Sports Podcast. You can find me here on SoundCloud.com, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Guys, today is a loaded show with nothing but Atlanta Falcons talk, since we are technically already in the off-season while the other teams are playing in the playoffs to see who goes to Super Bowl 54. Unfortunately, it is not us. I wish it was us, but it is not. So we can only look forward to the future, which is the 2020 season and what we could expect. But for right now, we are talking about many, and whenever I say many, I mean many changes has already happened to the Atlanta Falcons roster. So the first thing I do want to talk about is which Falcon players from this season is hitting the free agent market. So as the Falcons 2019 season comes to a close, it is time to take a look towards the future. With free agency in the NFL draft a few months away, Atlanta's roster will have turnovers. So here's a look at who is set to become an unrestricted free agent when the new league year begins on March 18th. An unrestricted free agent is someone who has played 4 or more seasons when their contract has expired. When the new league year begins, unrestricted free agents are able to sign with any NFL team. Those being Vic Beasley, Jack Crawford, Matt Bosher, Adrian Claiborne, Kamal Ishmael, J.J. Wilcox, Stephen Means, Kenyon Burner, Tyler Davison, Justin Hardy, Blende Ware-Wilson, Keith Smith, John Krypian, Ryan Allen, Austin Hooper, Rashad Hagman, Devondre Campbell, Sherrod Niesman, Wes Schweitzer, and Matt Sims. This is a very, and whenever I say very, big list of free agents, guys. And for the following players are restricted free agents, someone who has played for 3 seasons. Teams have different tender options they can place on restricted free agents: first round, second round, or an original round tender. And that would be Younghoe Koo, Michael Bennett, and Brian Hill. Wide receiver Brandon Powell is the only exclusive rights free agent the Falcons have on the roster. Powell will either be offered and accept a contract from Atlanta, or he will hit the free agency market. So guys, if you really had to sub, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, really 23 free agents that the Atlanta Falcons have this offseason to either get contracts for or just let them go within, like a trade offer where it comes to first rounds or just anything else. So I'm going to go through this list by visually looking at it, and I'm going to tell you who I think we're personally going to be keeping based off of season performance. Vic Beasley, I do believe we are going to keep because during the second half of the season, we did have a lot of productivity from him. I mean, seriously, Vic Beasley was a machine to get tackles on the quarterback, or sack, and that was just because of the coaching change. And honestly, if Vic Beasley stays in Atlanta, I would not be mad about this. And I keep saying it over and over. In the first half of the season, I was like, all right, get rid of Vic Beasley. He's not even recording sacks. But now what did he finish the season with? 8.5? If I remember that right. So 8.5 sacks for Vic Beasley just for the second half, or really for the whole season. And I think 6 of those came during the second half. That's amazing, guys. It really is. Jack Crawford, I'm going to say yes on this one. Jack Crawford is definitely a reliable source for the Atlanta Falcons. He is a great D lineman. Matt Bosher, I'm going to say we're going to let him go after this season. Well, really the start of the 2020 season. Adrian Claiborne, I definitely want him back in Atlanta because he can get to the quarterback just as easily as Vic Beasley or Grady Jarrett would. Kamal Ishmael, I'm going to say keep J.J. Wilcox, keep Stephen Means, go Kenyon Barner. I'm going to say he is going to stay. Tyler Davison, definitely we need to keep him on the defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons. Justin Hardy, now this is a very interesting one. Justin Hardy, he is of a little bit up in age right now. And really I hate to say it, but he's like the Mohamed Sanu for us right now. Because Calvin Ridley stepped up into that number 2 wide receiver role. And Justin Hardy is at number 3 like Mohamed Sanu. Well, Mohamed Sanu was more number 2 WR than anything else, but now he is number 3. But Justin Hardy can still make plays for the Atlanta Falcons. But at the same time, he is of that older age, and we don't use him as much because, we got all these other wide receivers that need the exposure. So Justin Hardy is a little bit of a coin flip for me. I'd be happy if he goes, but also I'd be happy if he stays. Blighty Wilson, I don't know how to pronounce that. Probably going to go. Keith Smith going. John Kripien going. Ryan Allen, yes, he's going to stay. Austin Hooper, definitely yes, because the Atlanta Falcons has said themselves, they would like to sign Austin Hooper during this offseason. Because Austin Hooper, he is like a Tony Gonzalez or a Rob Gronkowski for the Atlanta Falcons. He is a very reliable source, and he can honestly win you games. Just him alone. Rashad Hagman, yes. Devondre Campbell, he is a coin flip as well, but I'm going to lean more towards staying in Atlanta. Sherrod Neesman, yes. Wes Schweitzer, probably is going to go, and Matt Sims is probably going to go as well. Now for your restricted free agents, Younghoe Koo, definitely let's keep. Michael Bennett, going. Brian Hill, I say we're going to keep. So throughout this whole list right here, guys, I think we're going to be kind of even throughout the entire stretch of things when it comes to free agents. So 23, and we're in plus 2. I mean, you can't divide 23 by 2. I don't think. No, I was never good at math. All right, so 11.5. So really, you can't keep 11 and a half players. So honestly, you're going to have that one extra person that's either going to be staying or going. So this is a great time right now because the Falcons are in their prime. It don't look like it on paper, but we are in our prime. We have a Super Bowl window. Not everybody thinks it, but we do. So, but with the likes of a Vic Beasley, Adrian Claiborne, Austin Hooper, Rashad Hagman, Devondre Campbell, Younghoe Koo, with those kind of free agents right there, we can win games and championships with just them people alone. So now moving on over, guys, to key dates for the Atlanta Falcons during this offseason. So, of course, everybody knows the Senior Bowl is January 25th, so we only got 23 more days. Well, no, we got 22 more days from today's podcast from the Senior Bowl. We got the Pro Bowl on the 26th, so the day after. Super Bowl 54 will be at Hard Rock Stadium February 2nd. Then the NFL Combine will be February 24th through March 2nd at Lucas Oil Stadium. And in March, we'll have free agency negotiation period from March 16th through the 18th. The new league year will start on March 18th. Owners meeting will be the 29th through April 1st. And then in April, you have the off-season workout program on the 20th and the NFL draft from April 23rd through the 25th. So those are definitely some key dates right there. I'm looking forward to the free agency negotiation in March rather than like the draft or anything, because in the draft, it's more of a wild card whenever it comes to the draft. You're basing off like who has the most success in college and everything else when it comes to drafting a college player into the NFL. But free agency negotiation, that's where you get most of your action from. Like, who's the big free agent out there that you could sign? Right now, it's currently Tom Brady, from what I'm hearing. So it's gonna be the entire internet's gonna explode if Tom Brady signs with another team at the age of 42, 43. But past that, free agency is also a great time for those not so popular players but can still win you games to go to the likes of the Atlanta Falcons or the Cleveland Browns or wherever it may be. But definitely keep an eye out. For right now, it is April dates released, but now for like June and July, that is yet to be brought up because, that's like 6, 7, 8 months away from now. And, we don't have that kind of information, but I'm guessing with everything that's happening, training camp, honestly, guys, let me pull it up right here. I am July. Okay. So if I'm reading this right, July 20th, I'm going to say honestly, maybe the 27th. Yeah, I'm going to have to say the 27th will start the training camp for the Atlanta Falcons, but I am going to be wrong about that like I was last year. So anyway, so now it is time to move on now to the 2020 schedule itself. So for the Atlanta Falcons, we did finish 7-9, and we did play second place in the NFC South for 2 years in a row. And we got our opponents revealed, but not in a particular order. Now do take this with not a grain of salt, but write this down because the Falcons are participating in the international games this year, more specifically in London, and rumored has it that we are going to face the Denver Broncos in London for the 2020 season. So for home, and we are going to be treated as the home game for the London game. So for home, you got the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, always a given. Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Denver Broncos, more specifically looking like London, Oakland Raiders, and the Seattle Seahawks. So we're getting Seattle again this year. I am kind of happy about that because now we could look for some revenge in the bins. In a way, you got of course, the NFC South rivals again. We're back at Minnesota again this year, at Kansas City, at LA Chargers, at Green Bay Packers, and at Dallas. So, based off this schedule right here, guys, I'm going to say 7-1 at home. So that's really good right there. 7-1 at home. In a way, I don't know. This is really tough. I'm going to say win at Carolina. I'm going to say win at New Orleans. Win at Tampa Bay. Probably I don't know. It depends on how Minnesota plays during the playoffs. But I'm going to say probably another L in Minnesota. Kansas City Chiefs, that's going to be a wild card, but I am going to say we're going to win that one. LA Chargers win at Green Bay. I'm going to say yes if we get them early, but no if we get them late. Because if we get them late, it's going to be really cold, it's going to be snowing, and we don't do too well whenever it comes to snow and ice and cold weather. And then at Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to say we're going to win that one. So, win. Loss, win, loss. So we're gonna more than likely go 6-2, like we did this season in the second half. If you did it that way, so chances are, all the guys, we can finish maybe 14-2 for all that sake. So I'm looking forward to the next season right now, guys. But first, we need to get through the preseason and find out how the Falcons are going to do regarding that. So now moving on over to two assistant coaches depart from the Falcons staff. So this, of course, was Thursday, January 2nd, so yesterday. And that is the Atlanta Falcons have announced Thursday that Dramon Henderson, the team secondary coach and defensive passing game coordinator, and assistant defensive line coach Travis Jones are leaving the organization and pursuing different career opportunities. And of course, they give out a little speech. We appreciate the time here from Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff and Arthur Blank. But Henderson did join the Falcons in 2016 after spending 9 seasons as a defensive coach in the NFL. He played a key role in development of young players such as Keanu Neal and DeMonte Casey. Jones became the Falcons' assistant defensive line coach in 2018 after 13 seasons of coaching defensive positions in the NFL. Despite the moves, Atlanta will keep all 3 coordinator positions intact. Offensive coordinator Dirk Koetter will be back next season, as will special teams coordinator Ben Kwatka, if I'm pronouncing that right. Raheem Morris was recently named D coordinator after helping lead a stunning second half turnaround for the defense, and linebackers coach Jeff Ulbrich, who also had his hand in the turnaround, will be the team's assistant head coach moving forward. So I do agree with these moves right here, guys. So we are going to have to start finding, again, a defensive line coach, and we're going to have to find a secondary coach. And I believe in Raheem Morris, I believe he will get the job done to find who he thinks is the right fit for the job. So now going on over, we are talking about players being signed to reserve future contracts. So this also came out Monday, December 30th, so I know this is very late, but the Atlanta Falcons have signed quarterback Danny Edelton, offensive lineman Lecarius McNeil, tight end Carson Meir, defensive back CJ Reeves, and running back Craig Reynolds, keeping those players in the fold for the upcoming season. And reserve/future contracts keeps a player tied to a team, but the contract does not go into effect until the start of the new league year in 2020. All 5 of those players ended 2019 season on the Falcons practice squad, and the coaching staff will get an opportunity to evaluate them yet once again. Danny Edelton is definitely a right move to keep as a potential QB2, QB3. QB3 right now because of Matt Schaub. But also, at the same time, if we do get rid of Matt Schaub, which I highly doubt unless he announces retirement right now, then Danny Edelton is going to be a perfect QB3. And also, nobody's talking about it, but Kurt Bennick has just been informed that he is able to compete again. And I do like that because Kurt Bennick, he was perfect in the preseason, which I know he didn't play all of it. He played the Hall of Fame game, and I think maybe 1 or 2 snaps of week 1. But still, though, Kurt Bennick, he stepped in. We were moving the ball, and I really like that. And so it's going to be a battle between the QB3 when it comes to Kurt Bennick and Danny Edelton here. So now, also, guys, Thursday as well. So this was yesterday. The Falcons also had signed Devin Gray to the reserve/future contract. The Atlanta Falcons signed 5 players to reserve contracts on Monday, and they've added yet another player, which, of course, like I said, the team announced the signing of wide receiver Devin Gray to a reserve/future contract. This contract will tie Gray to the team until the start of the new league year, when it fully comes into effect. Gray was part of the Atlanta Falcons practice squad in 18 and 19. He caught 7 passes for 107 yards during the 2019 preseason. And again, recapping the reserve contracts, right now the current reserve contracts look like QB Danny Edelton, wide receiver Devin Gray, O.L. Lucius McNeil, tight end Carson Meir, defensive back CJ Reeves, and running back Craig Reynolds. Whew, alright guys, so that is a lot. And whenever I say a lot, I mean a lot of Falcons news for everybody this Friday right here. I hope my voice really did not make you go to sleep, because I am trying to be a little quiet for everybody, because I know, everybody's busy around the house and whatnot like that. But anyways, that is all of the Atlanta Falcons news. As of right now, there's been yet any more coaching changes that I know of that has been made, and I'm going to keep a close eye on 92.9 The Game here in the near future, and I might sign up for a Sirius XM radio now, because my sister got a brand new car and that came with it, and you can actually listen to NFL, radio all day, every day. So I do like that, so I might start paying more attention to 92.9 The Game and the Sirius XM NFL channels, and just see what happens. But for right now, that is all the negotiations, coaching staff, opponents for the 2020 season, and man, I can't tell you enough. July and August and especially September cannot get here fast enough. So if we could just fast forward for the next 6 months, I'll be happy. But guys, I sure hope you did enjoy this very lengthy podcast today. And if you did, make sure to hit the like button for all this Atlanta Falcons news that came your way. And till then, I, Cole Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.